Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to Round the Clock Cricket with me, Rahul. This is a very late night show as we are doing it on the second day of the very important test at Oval. Uh, and we have a very important subject to deliver today. We discuss an all test 11, which we have seen in our lifetime. This would be varying from a lot of us because we have in a different age group. Sudeep watching cricket from 81, I'm watching from 82, and Amit and Sayak could be a little later. Our main expert Kunal is also today traveling, so he'll be back in next episode. We will be discussing an all-time Test 11, and I promise you a wonderful, very exciting discussion and deliberation. But before that, welcome two of our new guests, Amit Lahiri and Sayak Banerjee. Welcome both, Amit and
Thank
Sayak.
you.
Thanks. We will discuss, but straight away, a couple of minutes on the Oval Test. First, Amit, and then Sayak. Your thoughts on the Oval Test?
Yeah, hi. Hi all. I think Gill has been a little unfortunate with the toss, first of all, I would like to mention here. Um, uh, Losing five toss outside Asia, it's never easy. But India probably, I don't know, for some reason has done remarkably well throughout the entire series. But for this particular test, I think the toss was probably it was very important on a cloudy English summer with this green top, and especially it's got spiced up with the Gambhir and the pitch curator saga. Like, I mean, they had a bad altercation, I heard, so because of the pitch issue or whatever. So it started actually on a bad note. But having said that, I think first innings was very crucial. I think as Karun Nair wanted that God should give him a second chance, and he got it. Probably grabbed this time with both hands. It was a very important knock, and India probably posted a subpar kind of a total on the first day. And today, I mean, I think we lost four quick wickets, ending up with I think 224. What was it? The score 224. And but again, credit goes to English bowlers without Chris Oakes. I think they did reasonably well in the morning today. And the start given by Ben Duckett and Jack Crawley. I mean, it was. I mean, signs were ominous. I think we all were discussing like that it can be over in 3 days. But I think our DSP Saab, Mohammad Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna, they bowled their heart out probably in the second session. And India, I think right at this point of time, they are right on top. In without Chris Oakes, India, I mean England are possibly handicapped. They don't have the fourth bowling option. So once Josh Tang and this guy Atkinson takes a break, I don't know. I mean, I don't see this guy Jamie Overton doing much with the ball. Maybe he's a kind of a bits and pieces cricketer. So I don't know what will
What
be
is your
their
take
plan of
on what is your take? What is your take, Amit and Prasidh Krishna? I'm a little surprised personally, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think Prasidh got little lucky with Crawley's wicket. I can't remember the name. It
Zach,
could be
Zach.
Jack Crawley, right?
Jack,
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 Jack.
Jack
Okay.
Crawley, Jack
Yeah,
Crawley.
Jack Crawley. So he got little lucky. Crawley was trying to hit him out of the ground, probably disrupting his line and length. But he played a false shot, and actually it opened the door for us. I mean, had Crawley been there for another one more over, I think things would have been pretty done and dusted. But Crawley's wicket actually opened the door, and thereafter, I think the spell that Siraj bowled 8 overs at a stretch, that actually changed the momentum, whole momentum. I was actually watching the match from close quarters today. I didn't have much work at office, so I was actually watching this match. I mean, after a long time, I could concentrate on the match, and I saw that Siraj. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, hats off to this guy. I mean, no matter what, he runs in hard, and he got rewarded. I mean, the wicket of Jacob Bethel, I think it was just awesome. I mean, it was late swing, ball coming back. He didn't have a clue. And Jacob Bethel probably has seen Siraj from close quarters being at the RCB just few months back. So I don't know. He probably missed the line and got trapped LBW. And coming back to India's second innings, I think they started off really well. Though Jaiswal got dropped. Um, yeah, I mean, I think India right now, I would say 70-30 in favor of India. That's my take.
Thanks, Amit. So, as I have the expert opinion, because you have been watching cricket for a very, very long time and professionally, my first question to you before we move into the test match per se is: Are you? I mean, we all. It's been a cliche now that when Siraj is the leader of the pack, he delivers better. When Bumrah doesn't play, he delivers better. So you think this is a mindset? When Bumrah plays, he's off color, and now again he's the leader of the pack. So on that note, you start off, and then your opinion.
Uh, if Siraj is the leader of the pack, I think on most occasions we have seen that he kind of comes up with an inspired spell. There's no second thoughts on it. Absolutely, and as we all know that out of the 5 pitches so far, this oval pitch is the spiciest of all.
Correct. Absolute. Absolute.
And even though I'm not watching the match, but I think India haven't lost any wicket as of now.
As of now, correct.
As of now, they
I
haven't
think
lost, but but the ball is still doing something.
Yeah. India has just lost a wicket. Just.
Okay, who's out?
I
KL
think
Rahul.
it is KL Rahul.
KL Rahul.
Caught root ball tongue. Just got out.
Okay, but
Hmm.
but given the current situation, if India don't suffer yet another batting collapse, I don't think England have any chance of winning this game.
I also think.
And keeping aside the spells of both Siraj and Prasidh Krishna, England gave this, rather England handed this game over to India on a platter. First of all, they were wrong with the team selection on this kind of a pitch. Unless you are an idiot, you don't rest a fast bowler like Archer and bring back someone like Jamie Overton, who I don't remember, when he had last played a test match. I don't remember.
I think they are preserving him for Ashes. That's what British press is saying. They're preserving him for Ashes, which is November, which is about 4 months.
So so if he plays a test match now and can't be fit by November, then what is his fitness? Then he's unfit.
He's a valid question. He's a valid question.
Yeah, and then when they got off to such a fantastic start, 92 for no loss, with the kind of shot that Ben Duckett played was absolutely uncalled for. Yeah, he had no need to play that shot. And after that, Trolley also. And then I think Jamie Smith even. So this concept of baseball is a sham, I would say. I mean,
It is. I mean,
against teams like Zimbabwe, West Indies, and Bangladesh. That's all. And not even against Pakistan.
I think we'll have a separate show on maybe India, England, Australia, the coming Ashes, where Sayak will be able to deliver more. I personally feel Australia, I still hold, and I was talking to Amit the other day, I still hold England will steamroller Australia, just because Australia's bowling attack is very 35 plus, with Cummins 35, the other two 36, Leon 37. But seeing the bowling now, I have doubts whether England will be able to win in Australia. So
I don't think. No, if there is an upset, I think it could be 4-1. I don't see England winning Ashes at all.
I also think I've changed my mind. I think the bowling is a horrible bowling. It's one of the worst, weakest bowling I've seen. Horrible.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have a point here. I mean,
Yeah.
if Scott Boland plays in all those test matches, I'm 100% sure he will take care of this nonsensical stuff from Ben Duckett and Jack Crawley. I'm 100% sure.
Absolutely.
Scott Boland with his line and length, I can't see any English top order player playing
What
him well.
Boland needs to do is just maintain his line and length. That's all.
Line and length.
That's good enough.
Yes, and the way his seam comes up, I mean, if you just see, once he delivers the ball, it actually, you will see that the ball might come to you as a right-hander, but it actually leaves you. At the very end, I think Rohit Sharma summed Boland up very nicely while he was talking to Vimal Kumar, one of the journalists, that the most difficult bowler in Australia was Scott Boland, according to all the Indian players last
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
I mean that sums up. I mean Scott
Yeah.
Boland, I mean he is a must for these English batters, and if
Yeah.
he plays all
He's
the test
almost like a
matches
Glenn
along
Maxwell
with
type bowler.
Yeah. He
exactly,
is.
he's and very underrated. That is the worst. I mean,
Exactly. That's the
being an
problem. Yeah.
indigenous
He's underrated.
cricketer
He
in
only
Australia is
plays
difficult.
he only plays when Hazlewood is injured. That's the worst part.
Exactly,
That's the worst
that's
part.
the
That's the
worst part.
horrible part of Australian selection. I find I don't know why he does that. Anyways, thanks both Amit and Sayak. Now we get to the main topic, which is the selection of a very fascinating selection. It will be, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We have our own teams and we have our own prejudices. We will start with Sudeep. And of course, I have my own team as well, but I'm moderating, so I'll be putting it last. And I'll throw it open to everyone. The two openers. I will go from Sudeep to Amit to Sayak. The two
Uh,
openers.
Well,
Sudeep.
so thanks, Rahul.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the option number one, and it is Sunil Gavaskar, obviously, because he has been apart from being my idol, his record speaks for itself.
Correct.
Whether be it at home or away. In fact, away matches, his average is more than home matches. His average
Correct.
is,
This is one of the main areas.
52.11, and home
Correct.
is 50.16. And
Correct.
against West Indies, that fearsome bowling attack, his average, he averages, 65.45
Correct.
without helmet, without any protection. So it has to be
Very
Gavaskar,
true.
Sunil Gavaskar. And next, the opener number two, it is Matthew Hedden, because
Okay.
whatever test he has played, he has been very consistent, and he was comfortable both against pace and spin. So this is something,
Correct.
a big quality, you won't find, amongst, outside the Asian subcontinent, the players. Matthew Hayden is someone, who was comfortable both against pace and spin. So, and he
Very
averages,
true.
50.73 in 184 test innings. So he comes as the second opener.
Very good. Thanks. If we conquer on this, any slot we conquer, then we move into the next slot. So Amit and Shayok, do you agree or you have your own other openers?
No, as far as the openers are concerned, I think even I have placed Sunil Gavaskar and Matthew Hayden up front.
I didn't go with Gavaskar purely because of the fact that I was probably very young when Gavaskar retired. So that's the only
Yeah.
reason that I haven't seen him play live. And all the players that I have chosen, I have watched all of them play live, either in the ground or on TV. So
No,
that's the
absolutely,
reason.
because generation of age will be there because we have different age groups here. So from what we have seen, of course, will be there. So Sehwag, of course, I saw your team. Sehwag is definitely a good player. I mean, one of the great players of the teams. So it will definitely be there.
He
And
has, I mean, he had his actual weaknesses probably in the let's say I mean when it comes to swinging ball, he had his own way of dealing those things. But having said
correct.
that, he got three centuries in the Sena countries. One in South Africa in Bloemfontein, if I remember
Correct.
correctly, in 2001. It was his
That
debut
was his
series.
debut series. That was debut series.
Yeah, I think Sachin and he got both of them got a 100 in
100,
Bloemfontein. India lost the match,
Bloemfontein,
but yeah, so India lost the match, but they both scored centuries in the first inning. I think his
Correct.
second, I think he probably got another 100 in UK back in 2002 in Trent Bridge, I believe. And he also had a 195, I think, in Australia.
Correct.
So barring New Zealand, he had centuries in all those countries. So
Sena
and
countries.
also he was ahead of his time. If you see his strike rate, I think it is more than 80%. I mean 80, which
He's one of
was
these openers with a
actually
huge strike rate. But that is applies for Matthew Hayden also. The strike rate
exactly
applies for Matthew
exactly.
Hayden also.
So Matthew Hayden, because it's common for all of us. So I'm not going too much into Matthew Hayden, why he has been
Right.
chosen. I mean,
So
why he has
the
been picked up.
discussion basically, Amit, is Matthew Hayden selected. So we deliver Sunil Gavaskar or Sehwag. So Sudeep, you can put Hayden, Sehwag and Gavaskar. I mean, I will anyway say Gavaskar because I watched him live in Eden Gardens and I was young. I've watched him in a number of test matches in India. For me, it will be Gavaskar, but then we have to close this in our discussions with the impact and the number of wins. So if you go by the number of wins in which Sehwag set up, I would say he would be a little ahead of Gavaskar. But then for Gavaskar, a lot of logic opines because he was a player in a time, and which Sahib will agree, being a journalist, when he was the only player in the side, which you used to look out. I remember when I was in school, I used to first ask, calling my dad because there was no mobile, that he's Gavaskar batting, because Gavaskar's batting or not batting depended a lot for our kids like us. I think Sudeep will agree.
And he was the lone man standing,
Absolutely. He was the
you
lone
know,
man, the last man standing.
in fact,
A lot of matches.
one of his books, summarizes it, runs in ruins. That is
Runs
the
in
thing.
ruins.
So that summarizes everything. Because, if there is a crisis and you want someone to stay
Yeah.
at the wicket, it has to be Gavaskar.
Correct.
And if you want someone to rely on, it has to be Gavaskar.
I think Matthew Hayden has decided. It is a very close call, I think, between Gavaskar and Sehwag. I think unanimously, I would say, Shayok, me, and you, 3, Gavaskar, 1, 3-1. If we vote, it will be 3-1. But I think Sehwag has a point. And definitely, if we had a selection of team. So, as of now, Sudeep, keep Sehwag as a 12th man. Keep Sehwag as a 12th man. We keep on eliminating people. So we'll see finally what happens. Keep Sehwag as 12th. We keep Gavaskar and Hayden as of now. Sudeep.
Okay.
Okay. We move to the middle order. And this is going to be real hitting stuff. I see watching the teams. This is going to be tough. Because I have not taken Ricky Ponting, and Ricky Ponting is as good as Lara. And there can be a whole night discussion on Ponting, Lara, Dravid, Kallis. Kallis, only reason I think will go because he was an awesome bowler also. Probably the greatest all-rounder after Gary Sobers, so he might fit into any side, which we all seen. We have all seen Kallis. I saw Kallis first in 95. I was in college, and huge. I have seen him live also in Eden Gardens. So we start off with, I think in middle order, it is better to club the players and start off. I will start off the middle order myself. Then I move to Amit, Shayok, and Sudeep. For me, middle order was basically, and in general, if you love Test match cricket, middle order is basically where you come. When Sunil Gavaskar had once opined, I think Shayok would have seen that video, and every one of us. It was an English podcast in which he said that Richards was passing by him in a Chennai Test match in which he came at number 4 and 236. And Richards said, man, whatever is score you come, you are always, no matter, man, whatever you come, you are always at 0. So Sunil Gavaskar's 236 came at number 4, we all know. But the reason why I took this anecdote is because number 3 is a position where you have to have a player who can take the new ball and take the shine off forever and ever and ever. Having said that, the only reason I have taken Joe Root, and you have Facebook, Amit has seen that, and so has Shayok. I fought with the whole world for Joe Root because you see the numbers, boss. Last 6 years, 60 test matches, 7,000, 6,000 plus runs, 64 average, 21 hundreds. He's scoring hundreds like plucking from air. He's scoring hundreds. At the same time, when Virat Kohli scored only 3 in 6 years, he scored 21. So, in a discussion today, keeping on the 1st of August, I think keeping Joe Root out is very, very difficult. So my team will have...
one point.
Yeah, sure, please.
There is one point, which not just Sunil Gavaskar, but I think other people have also pointed out.
Yeah.
That most of the centuries that Joe Root has had so far in his career, I think it's almost 38. 38. Out of 38, if you see carefully, even Kevin Peterson has also indirectly said, at least 25 of them have come on flat tracks.
I'll not disagree. I'll not disagree that. Yes, it has.
I don't think he has any centuries against Australia, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
the only blip. That's the only blip in his otherwise fantastic
He has
career.
no centuries in Australia.
Australia, but I have his record. He has got 23 hundreds at home and 15 away, which is not a bad home to away ratio, Shayok. 23 to 15 is not.
Since you raised Virat Kohli's point, I would say that at least in the longest format, he's a far better batsman than Virat Kohli.
Yeah. No, I raised Virat Kohli because this Fab Four thing is hitting onto everyone's mind when Virat Kohli has not retired. And I was pushing for his retirement in social media for 5 years, from 20 to 24. Well, as I said, 39 test matches, and I am very good in data that you will come to know, and you also know that 39 test matches, 1990 run, 32.01. I mean, Sayok, you tell me, you are a selector, can you take him?
No,
Can you take him?
absolutely not.
32 average,
Absolutely not.
over a period of 5 years, 32 average, you can't take him.
Absolutely not.
He's as good as a Dharmasena or I'm a poor man's Marlanatha Bhattu. I'm sorry to say, Virat Kohli, 32 average, 5 years. How
Look at
can
the
you take him?
Australian, if you look back at the Australian tour, the
Correct.
manner in which he kept getting out,
Correct.
it's not I mean, you can't say he's a great test batsman. Not at all. I'm sorry.
Exactly the point which you wrote in that article also, which I supported you. Virat Kohli from 2014 to 19, yes, 20 plus hundreds, Joe Root, Smith and Williamson way behind. And then slide comes the next 6 years, 21. So 21 is to 3. I mean, see, we are at a subjective era in which I am also saying like Neville Carter, the scoreboard is an idiot. Scoreboard गधा हो सकता है, लेकिन इतना बड़ा गधा भी नहीं है. You cannot see 2100s in 6. So that is impossible to accept. I mean, why BCCI gave him a leeway is up to BCCI. We are not here to decide. But I mean, Joe Root will come in any team. I'll leave it to the decision up to you. The other 3 positions I have had is Viv Richards, Sachin Tendulkar, Jack Callis. I think Jack Callis comes in, and I will open the discussion to all 3 of you. Jack Callis just comes because if you want to replace Gary Sobers, whom I did not see, it has to be Jack Callis.
Okay.
Because he will bowl 30 overs and Sudeep just hold me. I'll finish off.
It was very
It's
tough
50
to
over.
keep Callis out. I mean, not just Callis, even Richards.
Yeah. Viv Richards, yes. I mean, Amit has not
It was
seen
very
Viv
tough
Richards,
to
but
yeah, I have seen
Viv-
just highlights of Richards. I haven't seen any
I have seen him live and one test match in Eden Gardens, and I was absolutely privileged to watch. And I have seen him in Delhi also. I've traveled to different parts of India and the world to watch test match. And Viv Richards is class. I mean, any discussion, I mean, Sudeep would be 5 years older than me. So Sudeep, though, of course, is in an era of Richards. And I mean, in cricket, if you decide Viv Richards is very difficult. Yes, people like Amit and a little younger who were born in the 90s, Virat Kohli will come in, I know. But I can't help it because they love Kohli. But Viv Richards unanimously comes in almost all discussions.
Well, if you want to send shivers to the opposition
Yeah,
ranks, it has to be Viv
absolute.
Richards in the
Viv
team.
Richards.
Because the kind
Team.
of impact he had, the kind of, the pressure he used to have on the opposition, that is something unique, So I think
Absolutely.
so are we having a consensus on Sachin Tendulkar, everyone in the house?
I think Sachin and Viv Richards, we will have I want to hear Amit because Shayuk, me and you will have a consensus on Sachin, I guess.
Sachin is, I think we have all. Do we have a consensus? Everyone? No.
Wait.
Sachin?
Let's hear Amit. Amit, Sachin consensus? I don't think any discussion on Sachin.
I mean, probably the best batter. Just, I mean, if I just think about a batter, he's probably the best. I mean, especially in test matches, maybe his average dropped a little bit in the later part of his career.
Absolutely.
He had this awkward tennis elbow. I heard him saying that he was hitting full-blooded cut shot and the ball was not reaching even the point. So just think, I mean, from a player, I mean, of his caliber, saying those words, I mean, it was just, I mean, had that not happened, I think Sachin would have finished with average something close to Ken Barrington with around 58, 59.
Yeah, he's 53.78 currently.
Yeah.
I mean, he ended
He
with
finished
53.78. And
he could have actually got to 58, 59. I mean, if you see his average before 2003-4, just 2003 World Cup, I think it was hovering around for 50, 57, 58. All of a sudden, with this tennis elbow happened and things got changed for him, and his average dropped.
Only one negative point, we'll find it. This fourth innings average is very poor, 36.93.
I was about to come.
36.93.
That is where Rahul Dravid comes in, because the fourth innings he was God, almost God.
Lakshman also, I think. Lakshman also. Yeah.
So we have. I mean, I don't know. Joe Root. Everyone okay? No.
Joe Root. I have a point here.
Yeah,
if Joe Root scores a ton, or let's say even a close to 100 score against Australian bowling lineup this Ashes, you have to pick Joe Root over anyone, I believe. Because
that is the only discussion point against Root in any discussion that comes up, because that's the play Sayak said.
Probably, I think Joe Root is probably the best player of spin coming from England, where he kind of when he started his career, he didn't even know how to play spin. He one of his interviews, I was just going through it a couple of years back. He said that he was having no clue how to play spin. And I think the series in 2012 when Ojha and Ashwin were bowling together in tandem, Joe Root looked apart. I mean, and Kevin Peterson when he actually walked in, I think,
Amit, that series was his debut series in India. That was his
debut
debut
series,
series
yes.
in 2012 was his debut in 2012. That was
Yes,
his debut
in
series.
Mumbai.
I was
He-
there in
Mumbai.
Nagpur.
Yes,
Yeah,
No,
you were in
Nagpur.
Yes.
Nagpur.
Nagpur.
It was a Nagpur series.
So,
Alistair Cook was the captain. I think Alistair
yes,
Cook.
He was the
Yes.
captain.
yes,
Cook
Alistair,
captain.
yes, Alistair Cook was the
Cook was
captain.
captain. Yeah,
Kevin
I
Peterson.
remember.
Dhoni was
So,
out for 99 in that case.
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
yes,
So
yes,
I think
yes,
Sudeep,
yes,
you can
yes.
take Sachin and Viv Richards. That's two frozen. The other two will have fight, I know. Sayak, I mean, just one question. You have been a front-line journalist in a very front-line newspaper like Telegraph. I'm just asking from a statistics point of view. Australia, big blip. Agreed. We will fight on that. But is it very easy to drop Joe Root sitting on 1st August 25 with the sheer performance of last 6 years? Very
Difficult.
easy.
It's difficult to drop him. It's difficult, but again, you, if you again see the way he got out today,
Correct.
ball the ball just came a shade back into him, and he was tapped LBW.
Right. Agreed. I was not at home, but I saw that. Yeah.
No,
In this series,
so-
there's been a sort of hot and cold hot and cold blowing off. He's not being the Joe Root we know, although he scored
He's
200.
blown hot and cold in this series.
Yes, he's blown hot and cold. So,
Right.
Sudeep, what is your take along with this? I mean, Joe Root is a contention. So, Sachin and Richards done. So, the two middle orders, we are coming to the sixth all-rounder, but as of now, what is your take? I mean, I didn't see your team. What is your team, Sudeep? You have Ricky Ponting, I guess. You are at mute, Sudeep. You are mute.
Well, I have Sangakkara in my team. He also serves as a wicketkeeper, and he's a person who has scored 12,000 runs, in Test cricket. So I'll put him
Sangakkara is
slightly
in my team, but you are putting him
as a
up. I'm putting
wicketkeeper.
him at
As a
7.
wicketkeeper,
Yeah, I'm
TK,
putting him at 7.
As a wicketkeeper, TK, we'll keep him at 7 for the time being.
Yeah.
So actually,
Because
I have
wicketkeeper, there will be a huge fight. There will be a huge
Yeah.
fight. Adam Gilchrist, that is accepted because there will be a fight. So,
So-
we're coming to that. Sayok,
so as
we close in on whom? Ricky Ponting? Whom do we close in at the number 3? I mean, Sachin and Richards 4 and 5. So 3, if not Joe Root, then whom? Yeah, Ponting. I think that would be the plausible. If not Root, then Ponting. Yes, Amit.
I actually chosen Brian Lara to go Brian Lara, Callis, and Tendulkar. But you were saying 2 spots, so it will be, I think, Ponting and
Callis.
Tendulkar.
Ponting, Tendulkar. No, Richards is chosen. Richards is gone. Richards and Tendulkar done.
Oh, then for me, I mean, I chosen Ricky Ponting because I have watched him play. He had his own struggle against spin. I understand that. But see, there is no comparison. If you have to choose between Ponting and Richards, the sheer aura that Richards had, I have not seen him live, but I have seen how he dominated Dennis Lillee and Jeff Thompson in the prime Australian time. So there is no, I mean, not even a contest. But again, if I have to ask,
I had a lot of time. This was a tough call for Joe Root or Ponting. I had to spend a lot of time on the averages and everything. So I think I will go, Sudeep will go Ponting. Because Joe Root, I know he has to score in Australia. This is one of the big blips. So
number 5 is Ponting.
We have Gavaskar, we have Hayden. Sehwag, we are as of now keeping 12. So we have Ponting, Gavaskar, Richards, and Tendulkar. Sayok, done? Okay. Yes. Number 6. I think by the sheer number of runs he scored and 292 wickets, 13,289. I mean, his batting was very, very boring. And there was no strokes, but he somehow scored 45 test hundreds. Don't know when he came and when he went. But end of the day, Jack Callis was a talismanic player. Boss, once he was in wicket, I always wanted him to get out. It was like Dravid.
Yeah.
No shots, nothing looking good. He was not a good looking player, but very effective. Your thoughts, Sayok?
No, but you're saying no attractive shots, but some of the off drives and some of the flicks that he used to play
Yeah.
were just majestic.
No, I am saying in the terms of that he was someone who was very, not someone who would you give a run for your money's worth to watch, like David Gower. That's what I'm saying, the comparison. Maybe. Isn't it?
No, I don't know. First of all, I haven't seen much of David Gower, but
Okay, neither me.
what I've seen of Jacques Kallis,
Yeah,
some of his strokes were absolutely majestic. I mean,
correct.
we
No, what
Indians were so obsessed with Sachin that at that time we didn't see anyone else.
Correct. No, agreed. He was in an era in which Ponting was there, Lara was there, and keeping out Brian Lara is a very difficult thing. It was a call which, broke my heart. He's one of my favorites because he's a left-hander.
So,
But
why I kept Lara over Richards is because Lara...
or Richards over Lara.
Yeah, why I had selected Lara is because for a greater part of his, for most of his career, he had to shoulder the West Indies batting all along.
Correct.
The frailties of the West Indies batting had begun from the 90s itself, which you people know.
Correct.
So from the early 90s itself, it was all about Lara. And that was much later than these guys like Chandrapal, Chris Gayle and all they came. But they were, Chris Gayle was, he never was interested with test matches.
Correct.
Yeah, and then
I
people
think
like Sarwan and all
Lara
came
had-
and they just fizzled away.
Correct. Yes, Amit, you were
It's all
saying
about
something.
Lara.
Correct.
I think Lara only had Carl Hooper to a certain extent. Apart
Exactly.
from that, none.
No one.
No one.
No one.
Hmm.
So again, if you just look at the statistics, I could not go past Lara in my team of since playing 11. Lara should be there because the way he dominated Australia in their own den.
Yes.
Back in the late 90s and early 2000,
Correct.
whenever West Indies traveled, they were being whitewashed. But what stood apart, Lara's knocks. I think some of the innings he played probably against McGrath, Gillespie, it was just, fascinating. Sitting at home watching those highlights. Because those days it used to start at 5:30 in the morning. So
Right.
possibly when lunch or tea would have come, we would have just got to see the highlights of Lara, and it was actually the real highlights. How to dominate a bowling lineup single-handedly. I think not even Tendulkar in his prime could dominate attack like that. And those guys were really good, like the bowlers. McGrath and Gillespie, they were really good. And all credit to Lara. He had this brilliant, I don't know, what exactly he had, but when Lara was playing, we always thought that, no one can get him out. And I think Muralidharan also summed it up once that it is more difficult to bowl to Lara rather than Tendulkar. Because when Lara was playing, he could not figure out how to get him out. So that also sums up Lara's career.
No, we have 3 reserves also, Amit. I agree with you because we have kept Sehwag also. My question is, if we put Lara, then we have to take out Kallis. Is it possible to draw a team which we have seen in our lives without Jack Kallis? Is my question to all 3 of you.
No, my team is a little different. If I just go through, I'll not kind of say that it is right or wrong, but Kallis, my number 3 would be always Kallis because the way he played in South African pitches for a long period of time, he could negate the new ball very easily. I think Graham Smith used to get out to very good, very good left-arm fast bowlers, and Kallis used to come in very early, and he used to negate the swing and whatever was thrown at him. So my 3 would be Kallis, followed by Tendulkar. Then I would have chosen, or let's say my pick would be Ponting and Lara both. I agreed that Ponting is not getting as much vote as Viv Richards, but my number 5 would be Ponting, or 5 would be Lara and then Ponting. And Ponting would be my captain. Amongst all the players that I have chosen, I think Ponting suits to be the best captain in my team. So that's how I summed it up.
No,
Before we go
Tendulkar and
into
Richards are
wicketkeepers.
already frozen. Tendulkar and Richards are frozen. Ponting is
Then
also
Ponting goes
frozen
out.
at 3. No, Ponting is at 3. We have frozen that also. So it is
Okay.
Gavaskar, Hayden, Ponting, Tendulkar, Richards. We are now talking 6. And at 6,
Okay.
it 6 would be a all-rounder. So I leave it to the floor to decide, because for me, if it is 6, we can have Lara in the reserves. For me, Lara is also in the reserves. But yes, whether Lara or Jack Kellis is the question we dwell. So they,
Well,
I will
at
go with
6,
Kelly.
both are very good. Lara on his day was absolutely brilliant. There was no comparison when he
Absolutely.
batted, on his day. But
Right.
if you see the records, he's not that consistent scorer. At one innings or couple of innings, he'll be score with very brilliant. Then 5 innings, he'll score below 10. That was the scoring pattern, if you see. But overall, he used to maintain the records. The averages used to be good. But given a choice between Lara and Jack Callis, I will go for Jack Callis purely, because of the additional
Utility. Yeah.
bowling resources.
Because see,
So
another thing, Sudeep, you can't keep Lara at 6. A free stroke
Yeah,
maker like Brian
and-
Lara at 6,
and-
you will be
and
wasting him.
Jack
Because
Callis
a
has
player like
been-
a left-hander, left-hander has to be up the order. You can't
And
have him at
Callis
6.
Go with Callis.
Callis was consistent,
I
throughout
think
his
we
Yeah,
should go
career.
with Callis.
Yeah,
I'll go with Callis.
Go with Callis.
I'll go with
we all
Callis.
three, we have to be Callis. Lara will decide, Amit. Don't get upset. We'll decide that Lara is a very strong case. Because see, I have to get rid of Joe Root. I know Joe Root is a big favorite of a lot of people, but Joe Root, unless that he scores 100, which Shayok is right, and we all know, unless he scores that 100, it doesn't come into a discussion. That's the biggest problem. See, instead of scoring so many runs, Joe Root doesn't find a place. So you can understand, cricket is not an easy game. You have to think so many things.
Absolutely.
So-
No, absolutely. I
So
mean,
we
I
have
totally
Gavaskar.
agree.
Yeah, we have Gavaskar head and fixed. We have now Ponting at 3. So just listen to it, all of you. Ponting at 3, Richards at 4, Tendulkar 5 or 4-5. 6 is Callis. Now the discussion will be difficult. The wicketkeeper.
Wicketkeeper.
I have Sangakkara because of the same reason Sudeep has, because he can bat from any place from 3 to 6. Any place.
Yes,
And he has
12,000 runs.
12,400 runs. But difficult. Adam Gilchrist, yes. I myself wanted to have Adam Gilchrist in my side because of the impact. Now, this is one of the reasons we discussed this. The impact of a
But
player.
Gilchrist was poor against spin.
Correct. This is also a point.
Sangakkara
Gilchrist was poor against spin.
was a far better player against spin bowling.
Correct.
So I think we should go with Sangakkara.
We will go with Sangakkara. We are right. But let's hear Amit's view, because Amit, and a lot of people, not Amit, I myself was very, very close to deciding on Gilchrist. And then suddenly decided Sangakkara because of exactly that reason. And the other reason is, if you look at his record is extremely phenomenally good. In a lot of countries, he is just awesome. Against Australia, against England, against India, against New Zealand, in the Sena country, which was one of the qualifications, he is absolutely brilliant. His home and another thing, his away record is 54. Very few people have away record of 54 from 54 test matches. So very difficult. Amit, you have to counter this. Gilchrist, you
No,
counter this.
I have actually chosen Sangakkara. If you see,
Oh,
my
so you have
team,
chosen
I have-
Sangakkara. Someone chose Gilchrist. Who chose Gilchrist? Kunal. I
It
think
was
someone chose.
Kunal, I think. I think it was
Kunal. Kunal. So Sangakkara is frozen. I'm surprised. I thought this would be the highest fight. No, this is I'm surprised.
No, see, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you see the record of Sangakkara,
Yeah.
I mean, there should not be any kind of iota of doubt about Sangakkara's credentials behind the stumps. He kept Murli and Vas in typical Sri
Correct.
Lankan conditions for a long period of time. I
Correct.
mean, I got frustrated to hear, not hear, I would hear from my dad, and I used to see the scorecard, caught Sanga ball Murli. This
Correct.
thing actually is coming to my head right now. Got Sanga
Right.
ball Murli. So, I mean,
And-
he kept wickets like a gem. And then his batting probably, I don't know. I mean, how many players would have averaged 57 against the bowling? Against the bowling quality. I mean, like he faced Wasim Akram. He faced typical
Alan Donald.
Shoaib Akhtar.
Alan Donald.
No-brainer. Alan Donald. Everyone.
No.
He has played-
No. There is,
And you-
yeah, Sudeep, please.
You will be surprised to know that against Pakistan, he averages 74.64. Can you believe it?
Correct.
Against Wasim Akram, Wakarius,
And that's what Shayab
Shoaib
said.
Akhtar.
That's what Shayab said. He's one of the better players in the history of the game against
Yeah.
spinners and good quality pacers.
And apart from his batting, I have seen him so many times, standing up
Yeah.
to Chaminda Vas in one-day
Correct.
matches, standing up to the pace bowler.
But one question I'll ask Shayok, and this is an important thing because a lot of people I've seen in the podcasts where All Time 11 is decided. Impact, Shayok. Impact. Gilchrist had an impact. He used to come and blaze away like this basketball thing. In the impact scenario, do you think the classical Sangakkara loses out to the glamorous Gilchrist? The classical Sangakkara.
Impact wise, yes, Gilchrist, like this Rishabh Pant of today.
Correct,
To
absolutely.
me, according to me, Gilchrist is a far better batsman than what
Rishabh.
Pant does.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes, far better. When people say that Rishabh Pant is Adam Gilchrist, I laugh. I don't know how they can compare with. Very
anyway,
surprising.
they're-
Yeah,
that's their opinion.
Did you see?
That- that-
Did you remember the match in 1999 at Hobart, I believe?
Hobart, I was
Yes, against
say
Pakistan. Against
Pakistan,
Pakistan.
I mean,
153,
149. I think 149.
153.
Okay, whatever. But
Ah.
his partnership with Justin
Yes,
Langer
yeah,
actually helped them
that
to
was a
chase.
famous partnership.
I went to school. I still remember the day. I went to school
I
having
was in class 10
because
then. Yeah.
Gilchrist. Yeah, actually, what happened was, I went to school. And I was a huge fan of Adam Gilchrist. Actually, I started to love Australian cricket because of Adam Gilchrist. I think the knocks he played starting from 1998 to 1999 till the World Cup that they won. I
Correct.
actually started loving Australian cricket because of Gilchrist, and he used to come and just smash the bowlers all around the park. So that was one of the reasons why I started to follow Australian cricket. Now I went to school having lost all the hope because I think just before that Damien Martin got out, and when I came back from school, I saw that match was over, and JL and Gilchrist just finished it off. So that innings probably describes Adam Gilchrist. How good was he, and how great was he? One of the best innings, and also the Mumbai innings.
Agreed.
innings in
That Mumbai.
India.
Correct. So where is Gilchrist losing out to Sangha, Shayab, from a journalist point of view?
No, before answering your question, if I go back to that Hobart test,
Hobart test.
yeah, obviously, those days we never even imagined that we would see DRS. But if there was DRS, Justin Langer was clean caught behind.
Absolutely. That was a
I know that.
He was a caught behind. He was caught behind.
Yeah. And then Adam Gilchrist, I think Australia still needed about 40 runs.
40, exactly 40.
40 runs, say 40, 45.
45 runs.
Something like that. And JL was out. Shane won, and Gilchrist were batting.
Yeah.
Sackline was bowling.
Sackline was bowling.
Sackline was bowling.
He just patted that ball. That was plump like LBW.
LB.
He didn't raise his finger. So anyway, since those days DRS was just unimaginable.
Correct.
No point discussing about that. But yes, to answer your question,
yeah,
I think in that 2001 series, after scoring that 122 of just 111 balls, Gilchrist just fizzled away. In next 4 innings, he scored 2 runs. 0-0, 1-1.
Yeah.
So
that's why we won, actually. That's why we won the series. Had Gilchrist been around,
correct.
Harbhajan made Gilchrist his bunny, actually.
Both Gilchrist and Ricky Ponting.
Both Gilchrist and Ponting.
Exactly.
And Ponting was horribly. Ponting was not able to understand which was a dusra and which one went through straight.
Absolutely.
He was unable to figure out the ball. I remember I was sitting in the stage and I watched that match. So, a lot of us were there. Everyone was almost there in that 281 of Lakshman. So 7 Sangakkara, fair enough. I thought that would be a huge fight. Because a lot of people say Gilchrist is the greatest wicketkeeper batter. I disagree. I've not seen Alan Knott, but what I've read, Alan Knott probably in my book is the greatest wicketkeeper ever to have played the game. So,
and what tilts the favor, in favor of Sangakkara, I think,
correct.
he was comfortable both against pace and spin. And Gilchrist,
awesome
while he was
batsman.
the more flamboyant batsman, but he gave the bowlers always the chance, The bowlers always thought, he had a chance against Gilchrist.
Obviously, because he was very flashy. That's what I'm saying.
Technically, Sangakkara is a more, accomplished batsman. It's out of these two. So I think Sangakkara...
And one thing, Sudeep, Yeah, we first Sangakkara. And one thing I would like to point out here, because I look at a lot of averages in the history of cricket, to end the career at 57.78
Yeah.
after 134 matches. After Jack
It's a
Hobbs,
huge.
I think Jack Hobbs, Howard Sutcliffe, and Ken Barrington, and three. I think he's the fifth in the list of averages. To finish up at 57 after 134 test matches, I think
It's a big
Kelce
achievement,
probably is one of the
big
he's
achievement.
one of the greatest players ever to have played the game.
Greatest. Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
doubt about
No
it.
doubt. No doubt.
57 as a batter when you finish up after 134 test match, and not 20 test match like Brad Hogg. This other guy who's number 2 in the list of average, Australia, Brad Hogg. He
So,
played 20 matches. So all finished innings of more than 50, I think 20 innings and greater than 5,000 runs of that clause. I mean, Sangakkara is number 3 or 4 after Bradman. Of course, is Bradman. We're not discussing Don Bradman, but
no, we are
Sangakkara
teasing
among the
on.
current generation is the greatest. I mean, you can't, I mean, a person with a 57 average over 17 years of test career, and very difficult, very, very difficult player. So
let's
7
tease
Sangha
on.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the last 4. And this is, of course, where the reserves will come in, depending on the pitch, depending on where we play. But this is going to be also difficult because Amit has not watched the 3. I mean, the 3 I have watched: Wasim Akram at his peak, Richard Hadley at his peak, Malcolm Marshall at his peak. That was a delight. Malcolm Marshall was a delight at his peak. So very
Wasim
difficult. I
Akram,
would
I
like to
think-
start off with, yeah, tell me, Sudeep.
I think Wasim Akram, I think, can go into any team actually.
Wasim Akram
Just
will
because
walk
of
in, I am
his-
sure, but let me hear the other 2.
Just-
Wasim
just
Akram,
hear.
for me, walks into any one day or test site anyways. Or clients
Okay.
close.
I-
I have seen Wasim Akram in Calcutta in 86. I was in class 6. That was a match in the same series, Shayok, in which Gavaskar scored 96 in the last one. The same series, the last test of Gavaskar. Yeah, so Wasim Akram was Wasim Akram. He could bowl
No,
140
even-
kilometers running 2 meters
Even when
only.
he was not playing, even when he had joined as KKR or the mentor or something,
Mentor, right.
2013,
Uh,
this former England captain Owen Morgan,
Ian Morgan,
he was
very
part of the KKR. He was then part of the KKR squad.
correct.
So in one of the practice sessions at Eden Gardens,
Mhm.
KKR practice sessions,
Mhm.
Morgan was batting,
Okay,
Akram was bowling.
okay.
Obviously, Akram,
Retired.
10 years had gone since his retirement. So
10
you-
years almost, 2003, 2013. Yeah, 10 years.
10 years, a decade.
Yeah, decade.
So he was, he just ran in pretty slowly.
Yeah.
Say somehow just 8 yards, 8-10 yards, or maybe even lesser.
Correct.
But when he pitched that ball, we could see from a distance, it swung late away. It was away movement.
And Ian Morgan is a left-hander, right?
Left-hander,
Correct. Left-hander. Yeah. So swung away. Okay.
Yes, swung away. He just watched the ball. He just watching like this. The next ball, it came back to him. Again, he was watching like this. So after 10 years after his retirement, if he can do that to an established batsman, so just imagine what
he
he could have
was.
done during his playing days.
No, at his peak, I have watched Wasim Akram and he was a delight. Like Malcolm Marshall, he was absolutely a delight. And probably the most gifted cricketer I've seen in the history of the game. He was a different magician. He was a magician with the ball.
Why I selected Curtly Ambrose over Malcolm Marshall is because the Ambrose bowled at an era, when again West Indies is fast bowling resources, were also on the decline.
Very depleted resources.
Very
Yeah,
depleted.
and with only Courtney Walsh, Ambrose Walsh. Yeah,
And Jan Bishop was injury prone, so
Yeah,
he played
yeah.
one series and then he was out.
correct. No, we'll come
Patrick
to
Harrison
Ambrose
also
because that will take a
yeah.
discussion point. Let's go on the concurrent one. So how much we concur? So I am with Marshall, Akram, Richard Hadley, and Shane Warne. So out of these 4, I think 2 will be having a discussion point. So Sudeep,
Okay.
you have the same team. I
Same.
think
I
you have
think
the
I have
you
the
and me
same.
have the
I
same
think
team.
yeah, the
We
same
both
team.
have
We
the
have the
same because
same
we are
team.
of the same age group. So very
And
difficult to get Ambrose.
just a small
Yeah,
thing about Malcolm Marshall. He has a
yeah,
strike rate of 46.7 as far as the
yeah.
ball is
That is where
concerned. That is
that
some
is
kind
where
of
Curtly
record,
Ambrose. Yeah, that is the point where Curtly Ambrose might go out.
Mm.
And he has got the among all the people with 200 test wickets, which Bumrah broke his record. He was the highest with the highest average, highest strike rate of people with more than 200 test wickets. So Bumrah just broke him to that
46.7.
record, 46.7, which has been yeah. So I think Malcolm Marshall also walks in easily.
And he could
So
bat
we
a good ball. He
concur.
Intimidating,
could bat a
extremely
good ball.
Yeah,
intimidating.
yeah, very, very. Malcolm Marshall was very intimidating. I've
Extremely
watched him and
intimidating.
Eden got
And
horrible,
he could
horribly
bat a bit
intimidating.
also. He could bat a bit
Sudeep, can you
also.
speak? Sudeep,
Yeah,
can you speak a little loud? Yeah,
he
yeah.
could bat also. He was a decent bat actually.
No, no, no. He was a decent bat, I know, but Curtly Ambrose was also a decent bat.
No,
So on
Curtly
that ground,
Ambrose
you
was
cannot
he?
take it out. Curtly Ambrose has a record
Curtly
of, I
Ambrose,
think he had
yeah, no, but Marshall was slightly better if you look at the record.
Yeah,
slightly
Marshall was
better.
slightly
exactly. I
better.
mean,
Achha, okay.
I've seen the highlights. Yeah,
So
Marshall.
Yeah.
can we freeze on Marshall? Malcolm Marshall?
No, no, no. And he has a
Everybody
point on. Now, I think we'll freeze on whom? We freeze on Wasim Akram as of now. We
Wasim
freeze on
Akram. Let's
Akram.
freeze on Wasim Akram.
Akram
Yeah.
is anyways working in, so I knew that. The other three, Shane one, I
You
think
can
will
freeze
freeze.
on Marshall also, I guess.
I guess
Malcolm
thanks
Marshall,
to
we
the
can,
Marshall, yeah. Amrit, see, we have a reserve with Sehwag and Lara. So we had two players done in the reserves, Lara and Sehwag. So we come on that. So Marshall done, Akram done,
Akram done.
Shane Warne, Richard Hadley. I don't think.
I think it's
Shane
a toss up
Warne,
between
Shane
Shane
Warne
Warne and
is-
Murli Dharan. You know, whoever is it. That's where the contest is.
No, no, I agree. Again, why Murli? My question, Sudeep, is if
Murli's
you
record in Australia is very poor and in South Africa also.
absolutely, and if
yeah.
you consider the impact here, Shane Warne simply
Shane
say
Warne.
you can't go,
There-
you can't
no
go by
comparison.
see
There is no
you can't go
comparison.
by always the number 700, 800. But I always feel Murli was given a long leeway to get that 800. In India or in Australia, he wouldn't have been in Australia, especially he wouldn't have been given so many tests like Kapil did. And I was in college and I used to think, Salah, isko kyun khila gaya hai? He's being played one match, no wicket. Azharuddin is carrying him and Javagal Srinath, young Javagal Srinath and Shayok. He was bowling at 140 then, Javagal Srinath. He's waiting.
After he
And because
started
Kapil,
taking, yeah.
yeah,
He started
from
taking
90,
contests,
yeah, 91 when Kapil went to Australia, when I think 91, who's the captain of India?
Azharuddin.
Azharuddin
Azhar.
was, yeah, Azhar.
Azhar.
From that was the series when it declined. Kapil took a fifer in Brisbane, I think. That was the only fifer, that was his last fifer. So from 92 to 94, when Kapil retired, he had 9 test wickets in about 11 test matches. Think about the same thing today. Will any bowler get 9 wickets in 11 like Virat Kohli? He will need. He will be thrown out. You cannot. You are playing with a Mohammad Shami, who is probably one of the best bowlers in the history of the game. So nowadays it's ruthless. And Kapil was Kapil. So I mean, as I say, legacy played a better part. Azharuddin played a better part. Whatever they had to carry. Azharuddin said later that I had to carry Kapil because he was Kapil there. It is pathetic. I'm telling you, Shayok. I have watched Kapil. It was pathetic. 119, 120. He was like Anshul Kamboj. In the last phase of his last 2 years, he was really bad, really bad. So that, I mean, always believe people should know when to draw the line.
If I remember correctly,
Correct.
last ODI in Faridabad, I think, against West
Faridabad, well, yes, that was his last.
Simmons and Stuart Williams just took him apart. Just took
Exactly.
him apart.
I think Kapil was taken after 5 overs. 5 or 6 overs, he was taken off.
I think he was injured.
Yeah, in 5
and he
overs,
had
he
to
gave
walk
us some
out.
40
He had
runs,
to
I
walk
think.
out.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Kapil gave 40 something in 5 overs
Yeah.
and he was taken off.
And he was taken off. Yeah.
So it is very poor. I mean, watching Kapil was an absolute agony for someone like us. We are growing. For us, Gavaskar and Kapil, that's it. And for you, Sudeep, also, we grew in the same era.
Very much.
It was shocking.
Very agonizing. Very agonizing.
Very
You know, the
agonizing.
last
The
part.
way-
The last part.
Very agonizing.
Last 2
Kapil's
years.
last few years were horrible.
Last 2
just
years was
horrible.
very bad. So can
So
we
you need
freeze
to know
on
when to-
Shane Warne? Are we freezing on Shane Warne?
Yeah, we are
Yes,
freezing
I
on
think we
Shenwan.
should. I think we should.
So it is basically Wasim
Yeah,
Akram.
we should ask
Marshall
Amit
Warne.
once. We should have
No,
his
Amit
view.
said one. Amit said one.
Shane Warne, na? Okay. Okay.
So we have got Marshall, we have got Warne, we have got Akram. Done.
Wasim Akram.
So
So the last
only
bowler,
one place
one
left,
bowler, one
which
bowler.
I have Richard Hadley, Shayok. I don't know what Shayok has. Shayok had Ambrose, which he said is okay with
And
Marshall.
McGrath.
Oh, yeah. This will be interesting. McGrath and Amit.
Amit
I
also
I
had
would
McGrath, I think.
I have put McGrath, but at the same time I have also put more difference. So my 4 bowling attack would be, or let's say my first 4 would be Akram and McGrath, followed by Shenwan and Murli. Because we already have Callis as the all-rounder, so the space there will be at least three pacers. Yes, Callis is not of the same quality as Marshall, but anyways, Magrath, if we have already freezed out, like let's say Malcolm Marshall, Shane Warne, and Akram,
And
if there is
Akram.
only one spot left,
Only one spot now.
uh,
Only one spot left.
yes, my vote probably will go to Glenn McGrath in place of Murli, simply because of the fact that McGrath had such a big impact on all the matches he played, irrespective of the surface. I don't think surface played a huge
No.
part.
But
Uh,
McGrath in India, subcontinent in both Pakistan and India, McGrath was not a force. Subcontinent, he was not a force.
No, no, no,
and
no. No, I think you're getting it wrong. In 2001, in that series, McGrath, in India, he may not be having a 5-wicket haul,
Yes, he is. I just saw his record. I don't think
Strikes.
McGrath was.
but the strikes he made, it is to, I mean, it set it up for Australia, even in 2004.
Okay.
In that first test in
2004 when
Bangalore,
Australia, yeah.
he got the first 2 wickets of Rahul Dravid, and then I think
Sehwag.
no, the other opener,
Akash Chopra.
Akash Chopra.
Akash Chopra. Yeah.
That set it up for Australia. And Rahul Dravid was in top
Mm,
form that time.
no, he was, of course. But
Yeah.
I see why I have picked Richard Hadley is also the very same reason. Of course, he was one of the 4 of the all-rounders. The second thing I always pick Hadley is because for 2 reasons. One, he is a batsman better than McGrath. So when you bring in Hadley, see the last 4, you have Warne, who's a batsman. You have Malcolm Marshall, who is also a batsman. You have Akram, who's
Ken Warne. Ken Warne also used to bat.
so the last 4 always batted. For me, if you want to look at a batting side, who can bat, then McGrath, the problem was a bunny. So that is one, Shayok. The other point, same for Amit also. See, if you know Richard Hadley, I have a blog on Richard Hadley because I'm a big fan of his. Richard Hadley in his first career, and he had a long career like Imran. He had an
But how
injury,
good
then
is
came
his
back.
record outside New Zealand?
Very good.
Outside
I'm
New-
telling you, yeah,
Yeah.
home he took for 200 and 201 wickets, and away he took 230 wickets.
230. That's what I'm coming. That's what I'm coming, Shayok. Richard Hadley in his first 7 years from 73, when he made a debut against Pakistan, to 81. When he used to bowl at 140, he was around 180 wickets. 180, yes, 180 or 70 in the first 8 years of his career. Then he took a break. He had that cartled his run up and made it from about 40 years like Shoaib Akhtar. He had a huge long up. I have a video in which Hadley is running from the pavilion, almost from the boundary. Then he reduced it to what we saw Hadley as like Wasim Akram, just very short run up. And in his last phase of his career, which was 6 years from 81 to 88 when he retired, he had 280 test wickets. It is the only example of a player in the history of the game where his last 40 test matches yielded 280 wickets. He played only 86 matches, Shayok, by the way.
And he played till the age of 38, if I'm not
38.
mistaken.
And his last 40 test matches yielded him 288 at an average of 19 or 20 and a strike rate of 40. Because of his first 40 test matches, his overall strike rate was very, very good after Malcolm Marshall, I think, the 3rd or 4th, I guess.
And
But his last 7 years was awesome.
awesome. And the highest number of wickets he took against Australia, 130
Australia.
wickets at
Yeah.
20.56 average.
5'8", 20.5,
Australia.
absolutely.
No,
So one of the most
I have a-
formidable teams
I have a
that
point here.
Yeah. I mean, please.
After so many batters and great like players, do we really require Hadley's batting or the impact that McGrath created over a large period of time? Yes,
Good question.
agreed.
Good point.
Hadley
Good point.
Hadley was brilliant. I mean, I have heard a lot of good things, only not good things. I would say a lot of great things about Hadley, especially one of the series in Australia where he took probably 32 wickets in 3 test
Correct.
matches. My
Correct.
dad told me. So he was possibly one of the finest in that era. But
Correct.
if I just have to go by the impact that all the players created,
Correct.
I mean, McGrath probably stands out. He had a brilliant average of 21. Yes, batting wise, he was complete bunny. But if you just take his like numbers in terms of the average, wherever he went, his economy. I mean, he even if it would have not taken any wicket, he wouldn't have given run also. So that is one more point. I mean, if you see
No,
if you
your
see
logic
his
is brilliant,
career
Amit.
economy,
Yeah, what you are saying is if 6 people cannot bat, normally what do you say? Why do you take the 7? I mean, if 6 cannot bat,
Yeah.
why the 7? So you do not put an extra cushion like Gautam Gambhir is doing in this series. 8 batters. So that is the logic you are putting, which is right. I am saying that you are right, but I mean, Shayok and Sudeep, Richard Hadley or Glenn McGrath. I mean, a difficult call because Hadley had
I
200
think
first.
I'll go with Hadley.
I also go with Hadley, but I'm moderating, so I'm leaving it to the other two. I mean, Shayok, your decision on McGrath versus Hadley. Very difficult call.
Very difficult. But how good
Very
was his
difficult.
record against the then West Indies of the 80s?
Against West
Hadley's
Indies,
record
he
against
took
West Indies,
22.03 average at 51 wickets.
51 wickets. It's pretty good.
51 wickets,
Hadley's
51 wickets from how many matches? How many test
10,
matches?
10, 10, 10, 10.
In
10.
West Indies.
In West Indies.
Against West Indies. Against West Indies.
Achha, okay. In West Indies, he took
Indies?
16 wickets. He took 16 wickets in West Indies.
Yeah, how many matches?
4 matches, 16 at 27.3. It's a seesaw. This is a seesaw. Very difficult line.
Close. It's too close.
Very close, too close. It is too close. Because see, McGrath, whatever Amit said, I agree. I also have McGrath in my foot. No, I don't have McGrath in my 14th. I could not because I had Michael Holding. I mean, another big fan, love of mine. So Michael Holding you will not have because you cannot see
Who
Holding.
do
I
you
have seen.
ignore? There's so many greats. I mean, who do you ignore and who
Very
do you
difficult, very
love? Who do
difficult.
you
I
play?
said, see, I have watched Michael. I'll give you a story. I was 9 years old and 84. I think Amit was not born. Shayok was hardly born. Sudeep was born. And Kunal was also born. I think Kunal is not here, but Kunal is an ex-cricketer. So I was in Eden Gardens watching. There was to be a double wicket tournament. I'm just explaining to you, Amit. 2 batsmen used to bat, 2 batsmen used to bowl, and the same used to bat. There were 5 overs. CAB had organized the match right after the series in Calcutta, which in India lost very badly, that 83 test match in Calcutta. And I was just against, I mean, my dad had known someone in CAB, so I was in the call. And those days it was 110,000, mind you, not 65. It was 110,000, the old Eden Gardens. And I was just around the boundary, I was watching, and I was very young, 8, 9 years old. And Michael Holding was running in. He was past his prime, mind you. 83, he was 33 years old. He retired in 87. And he and Andy Roberts were bowling. And I think Sunil Gavaskar and Anshuman Gaikwad were the two. It was Gavaskar Gaikwad versus, I think it was Holding and Roberts. And Holding was bowling. Trust me, I had the fright of my life in cricket. His ball zipped. There was a Swiss like. There was a sound. And it went and thudded into. I mean, as Ian Morgan thing you said, he could not put his bat down. And Anshuman Gaikwad had scored a double 100 just few months before that in Pakistan. And Anshuman Gaikwad was a hot property then as an opening batsman. He couldn't put his bat down. I still remember by the time he put his bat, it was already a LBW. And the sound was like, when you cut the knife through a butter, it is like a hissing sound. Michael Holding was whispering there. If you have seen him bowl, he was risky.
Clippings, so I've only seen
Yes.
more than that.
I have seen him live once, and that was it. I fell in love with the action, and he was like, he was motion, he was poetry. He was running. I mean, this Jasprit Bumrah gets injured. Michael Holding played on and on and on, never got injured.
So those days there was no IPL.
Correct, right? Very true, very true. IPL is not, but people like Hadley, Wasim Akram. I mean, the actions also are important, Shayok. If you watch Michael Holding's action, so straight action, how do you get injured? And then he suddenly pulls that 150. You have no freaking idea. You think he's limbering. He's just limbering around and then 148. He breaks few noses and gone.
They were all natural athletes.
That's the point. Michael Holding was a natural athlete.
athletes, absolutely.
So
Michael Marshall Holding.
Jesse is basically, I would say, he's a freak. Jesse. I mean,
He's
you cannot
he's
say
a
he's
one
a
in a generation bowler. No, he's a one in a generation, but his action is too difficult for him to sustain. I don't have better prediction.
Kapil Dev just few days back said that Jesse will not sustain for a long time. Yes,
I told you the same
Jesse
thing.
has already
26, another year and a half max. If he survives this WTC cycle, this WTC is what his target is, I think. If he survives,
he
it's
told
great.
also. He told the selectors also that this is his final target in Test match.
So he
will be
is got
done.
210 Test
and he's
wickets.
also very lucky because he's playing under a very strong cricketing board. And why I can't say it here because
I know.
I will tell you in the group why.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree with you, Shayok. I know what he's trying to say, and it's true. So, Shayok, mostly Hadley for us, me and Sudeep. Amit is Magra. Your vote will tilt it. And 2-2 ho jayega. But we have to understand. I mean, Magra, I don't know. I'm a great bowler, but difficult to pick Magra if there is Richard Hadley. But again, Magra has his own points, a lot of plus points. So what? Very difficult choice.
Even on
This one
flat
is
wickets, I've seen McGrath, that even if he can't, I mean, if he, as a little while ago, Amit just said
yes.
that even on flat wickets, if he's unable, on flat pitches, if he's unable to take wickets, he'll make sure that he doesn't give any run. So
Runs.
one-
True. Meanest bowler with hardly any economy.
I have not seen Richard Hadley bowl on Indian tracks. I've never seen him. So
I have seen him
I
in that
can't
series
see.
in which he took the world record. He got Arun Lal out.
The 9
So that
for
was his-
83 in Hyderabad, that one.
Yeah, that one. Correct. That one. And I have a feeling that it will be a very close call. No, that 9 was not in India. His best performance is 6 for 49.
Okay.
And that was in 88. That same test, but in which he got the world record of 401. He got Sanjay Manjrekar and Arun Lal. I remember the test.
I guess
So
we should go with Hadley then. I mean, just
very difficult, yeah. But I think with the reserve 3, we'll have to keep McGrath. There's no doubt about it. Glenn McGrath comes in the side. There's no doubt. So Sudeep, we have Gavaskar, Hayden, we have Ricky Ponting, we have Richards, we have Tendulkar, Jack Callis, Sangakkara. We have then the bowling selects itself, Warren, Marshall, Hadley, and Wasim Akram.
And the reserves are, Brian Lara, Virender
Brian
Sehwag,
Lara,
and Blaine
Virender
McGrath.
Sehwag,
Are you
Glenn
going to
McGrath.
keep Virender Sehwag or any other?
This will debate now. That's why I said Virender Sehwag ko thoda niche kar lete, then we discuss.
Yeah.
Brian Lara
Okay,
is the
so
reserve.
11 is over.
Glenn
11, I think.
11
you have
is done.
freezed.
11 you have casted.
Done.
Reserve is
Let's
one is Brian Lara is one reserve. The other reserve is
Blaine
McGrath.
McGrath.
So
Blaine McGrath.
14th one to open house ho jayega, because 14th one I have Michael Holding. I don't think Michael Holding will get in. So 14th one, let's start from you, Sudeep. Who do you think is a person who can walk in depending on the pitch, but he will not make it to the final 11? Spinner, pacer, batsman, all rounder. 14th is a difficult call, in fact.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Virender Sehwag. Just
You'll go
because of
with
the
Sehwag.
impact he had. Impact.
Not a bad. And he's a spinner also. He gets wickets. He has
Yeah.
test wickets. Then the Sehwag, I think, had
Yeah.
40 were there, 43 test wickets.
Impact.
if I'm not
He had a
wrong.
different kind of an impact, which very
Impact.
few others had. I'll go with
And,
Sehwag. I'll go with Sehwag.
and one interview I just saw yesterday, and which is a right, from 95 to 100, 195 to 200, and 295 to 300. Only player to hit 6 and reach those landmarks.
Yeah.
Tremendous player. He's a tremendous player. Shayok, your verdict on Sehwag?
Sehwag in hand-eye coordination was brilliant.
Brilliant. Absolutely. And he was a hand-eye player like Krishnamacharya Srikanth.
Absolutely.
Srikanth was a poor man Sehwag, rather. Srikanth was a poor man Sehwag.
Srikanth, I won't say much about him because I will lose my cool.
No,
So
he
please
didn't have
discuss.
that technique, He was not
That
technically
technique,
that
yeah.
Yeah, so Sehwag, I mean, even if we leave out Test cricket in that the tour of New Zealand 2002, 2003, even the kind of
ODI.
Oh
yeah,
dear.
the ODI series, the kind of pitches that were in use, even during the ODI series, they were just, I mean, absolutely.
Daryl Duffy. Daryl
even
Duffy.
an ordinary,
Daryl Duffy.
a most ordinary bowler like Daryl Duffy looks like like Michael Holding.
Correct.
So even in those conditions, he got 2 centuries, Sehwag.
Correct.
So
Right.
that is a lot.
Now, I feel so sad that I can't keep Sehwag in any team just because there are so many great players. Because Sehwag seriously demanded a place in a lot of places. I mean, if you select an all-time Indian 11, he'll walk in. I know he'll walk in as an opener. Any day he will walk in. He's a remarkable player, and all the more because from a middle order to moving to a opening spot is a remarkable thing. So 14 is Sehwag. We keep 3 of us. Amit, what is your 14?
No brainer. I mean, I already put Sehwag as my opener, so I mean this will be Sehwag only.
Fair enough. So the 3 reserves are Brian Lara, Glenn McGrath, and Sehwag. I'm only thinking we have only one spinner, Shayok, Shane Warne. We have Joe Root. No, we don't have Joe Root. We have Ricky Ponting, who was never a bowler. Gavaskar Hayden, not a bowler. One
Just
spinner
one
in
spinner.
14. One
One
spinner in 14 may be a difficult ploy in a spinning track. We have to think about it.
Tendulkar,
You can put
Tendulkar
Muralidharan.
bowls.
Oh, Tendulkar bowls. Yeah.
So in that case, you can have Muralidharan in place of Sehwag.
Ah, good question. Good call. Actually, a good call. Yeah. Muralidharan in place of Sehwag. Yep.
But
Could be.
Muralidharan against good batsman of spin. If you see Sehwag's record against Murli is awesome.
Hmm.
So he
Yeah.
used to dominate. He used to dominate Murli like no one.
No, that is in
Correct.
India, but in Sri Lanka it wasn't.
It wasn't. Again, I was coming to that.
Sri Lanka, it wasn't. But if you see some of the matches of Murli against India, he didn't have that kind of impact.
Yeah, that was in Indian.
if I have-
Yeah, on Indian wickets, but in Sri Lanka it's
Not-
quite good.
No, I
Yeah,
think
true.
the match in
2008
Taunton,
series in
1999.
2001 and 2000. No. In 2001 and 2008, if you look at these two series, it's quite good. Murli's record against India in Sri Lanka, that is.
In Sri Lanka, yes,
In-
yes.
No,
And
my
I'll
point of
tell
view
you,
is Saurav Ganguly had an awesome record against Murli. If you see, I mean, the matches.
and let me tell you, Amit, the reason why Saurav Ganguly's retirement was hastened was because of Murli only, which Sahib rightly said that 2008 series, Saurav Ganguly went to Sri Lanka just after a very successful South Africa tour because Saurav was out of the ODI team. He used to play test matches and there was no retirements on the scenario. He scored 87, I think, in Calcutta and he scored another 87. The two test matches in South Africa, he scored 87, unlucky to miss hundreds. And then we had 3 test matches and he was under tremendous pressure because he was 35 and a half. Obviously, there was pressure from the selectors and Sandeep Patte, I think, who was Krishnamacharya Srikant was the chairman of selectors. So Venkateswarlu had moved out because Venkateswarlu had brought Saurav back after the exile. I remember the last few years very clearly. Obviously, we all do.
But
And
2008 series, it was a series of Ajantha Mendis, I believe.
He
Murli
was.
was
Shayok is very right. Saurav Ganguly got out 5 out of 6 times and all under 30. And that was the beginning of the end. Then when Australia came.
What Amit is saying that the pressure was created by Ajantha Mendis and then Murli took all the wickets.
Murli took correct. He took the all. And then Saurav Ganguly had to play the Irani Trophy because the new selection committee was actually dropping him.
yes.
He actually had dropped him because Gautam Bhattacharya had written, Devashish also wrote, they all wrote that he was actually, the blueprint was made to scapegoat Saurav. And that's why Saurav read the writing in the wall and he already declared his retirement. So that he had to play the 4 tests. But then he went on to score the 100 also in his retiring series.
Wow.
That particular series, Shayok, very true that Shayok may remember. I think Murli really bowled well in that series. So Murli keeping against McGrath is a difficult proposition. I don't know. We need a call on this because Murli, a lot of people will say because of the number of wickets, sheer number. But if the sheer number is a thing,
In all formats.
Yeah, true.
In all formats.
No. Amit, this I don't agree. In ODI, if we select a ODI side, Murli will never come in. Shayok, does a Murli come in an ODI side? All-time ODI side? I don't think.
We'll have a separate
No.
session for ODI.
We'll have,
No.
but ODI, I'm telling you, no, you said all format, so I'm coming to you on that. All format, he doesn't fit in the ODI side, never.
But if you have to pick a spinner, will you go with Shenwan or Murli in ODIs? Tell me that.
None. One
So
I'll
who
not
will be
pick
a
at all.
spinner?
I'll pick
So who
Anil
will be a
Kumble.
spinner?
I'll pick Anil Kumble.
No, but Anil
You'll pick
Kumble, for his last 3-4 years in international cricket, he was regularly used to be ignored in the ODI side.
Yeah, so
Correct. He
who
was
will be a
good
spinner?
for Harbhajan.
Saklan
Harbhajan,
was
just see the record.
I believe, Saklan is one of this. Saklan is one, but I definitely will not pick. I'll not definitely pick Baba. No. No. I will definitely pick whom I'll pick. No. Mama. Sit. Come. I will definitely pick. This is a good call. If I don't pick, Murli, ODI, Murli. Saklan is one. The other one was. Whom do I pick? Good question.
Shenwan.
Listen. Shenwan in ODI, Shayok.
Definitely. Why not?
Why? Why? 293 wickets. Anil Kumble 337 wickets with a better rate. Anil Kumble's strike rate was better than
Yeah,
what?
but
How,
Anil
how,
Kumble,
how many wickets Murali has?
ODI.
How many wickets? Yeah, ODI.
I don't know. 500. Wasim Akram has 500.
Let me see.
ODI.
Yes,
We'll have to check.
Murali,
Anil
yeah.
Kumble, took most of his
Wickets in
most of
India.
his ODI wickets at the early stage of his career.
Of his career. Agreed. Murli, I think, has 500 plus, if I'm not wrong. Murli is 500 plus. Yeah.
He has
You would be-
534 wickets. How can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go past Murali? It's
How
not
can you go past
possible.
Joe Root? How can you go past Joe Root? The same way. The
No.
impact has to be seen also.
Joe Root is a different. Joe Root is still playing. Probably his time will come. Murali has already retired. So if I have to just
No,
pick
I
between
agree,
these
agree.
two, so Joe Root still has time to make it into the top 11
Hmm.
of this
Hmm.
all-time Test 11. But if you just see the numbers, 1,334 wickets in international cricket over a
Correct.
span of almost 15 years. How can you go past Murali in ODIs? I don't know. I mean, people will have different
No,
opinions.
Shayad
Maybe a
probably
Sakline.
gave the answer. The first thing that comes to mind is Shen 1 for both the formats. But ODI, Murli, I have to think why?
Both Shenwan, if you see the numbers, forget about the numbers. If you see the impact, both these players were a part of World Cup winning side. So you cannot say that Shenwan had a World Cup and Murali didn't. So all these things, if you keep into consideration, I think Murali would walk into the ODI side, and Shenwan, because of his other abilities, also he will probably walk into the Test side. That's my take when it comes to
No, but
this
I
great-
think Shayok has a point. Sakline Mustak will go into my side. On a hindsight, I think Sakline would go into my side. Sakline Mustak.
brilliant bowler.
Brilliant bowler.
But I think he was overshadowed by Saeed Ajmal to a certain extent in the later
In the
part.
later half. Yes, very later half. Now, ODI side we'll have to discuss again, but that's a good point because I'm still thinking who was a spinner. In a ODI, though, you have to have a spinner. Harbhajan Singh can also fit in, Shayok, in a spinner.
Yeah.
Harbhajan Singh had more impact than Anil Kumble in the later part of his
But
life.
that's a
dropped.
very valid point. Like,
Yeah.
I think we probably should have this in a separate discussion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we just
spinner in
hypervented
ODI.
because. Correct. So we are reserved. Sudeep, who is close with Brian Lara, Glenn McGrath, and Virendra Sehwag.
Yes.
I'm just thinking where the discussion came from. Only one spinner in the 14 might be Tendulkar is there, but still one spinner in the 14
Sehwag-
is a lot.
Sehwag can
Sehwag
also
is
bowl.
there. Sehwag can bowl. Tendulkar, that's the reason I kept Joe Root also, but then Ricky Ponting will be, as of now, ahead of Root in terms of overall utility. So, can you run the team, Sudeep? Can you share the team now in the Excel?
Is it visible?
No, it is coming. Yeah, it has. Sunil Gavaskar, Matthew Hayden. Others can see. Amit and Shayok.
Yes.
Yes, you can see.
Yeah. Anil Sunil, Ricky Ponting, Richards, Tendulkar, Callis, Sangakkara, Akram, Marshall, Warren, Hadley, Lara. Good. Who captains the side? Now we have to go to the captain and the vice captain.
Ricky Ponting captains.
Okay. Shayok,
Same here.
Ricky Ponting.
I would say Wasim Akram.
I would also go with Wasim Akram. So Sudeep says Ricky Ponting.
Ponting
Amit
didn't have
says
to captain. He had a team, team full of robots.
absolute. I think Australia, mostly Steve Waugh and Ponting both had robots. They knew what to do. Hardly anything to be said. It was an awesome
autopilot
team.
mode always.
Auto mode, absolute auto mode. I think sometimes I looked at them and thought that they didn't need a captain. Wasim Akram, yes. Could be Viv Richards also, Shayok, if you needed a leader.
Yeah.
A flamboyant leader, Viv Richards. Very big, larger than life. Larger than life, Viv Richards. Otherwise, it will be Wasim Akram. For me also would be Wasim Akram. And vice captain would be one of the two again. One of the two. If it is Akram as a captain.
My vice captain would be Shane Warne. He was not utilized properly by Australian cricket.
He was
board.
not utilized, right? That is
Brilliant
the point.
cricket brain.
Correct,
Brilliant
Warren
correct,
Chappell
cricket
correct.
player.
once
I
said
have
that
seen him
Shane Warne
live.
is the great captain Australia never had.
Absolute.
Yes.
The like Ravi Shastri was a great captain India never had.
Mm.
So Wasim Akram captain, Shane Warne vice captain. Good calls. I think we have a good team now. And Sudeep, we have Sangakkara as the keeper. Lone keeper, yeah, ठीक है. तो keeper, one keeper is okay for a test match in 14. Sangakkara as the keeper. How about Sangakkara as a captain? No.
No.
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty solid
Sudeep,
lineup.
Sangakkara would be double K. Yeah. So Sangakkara keeper, Wasim Akram C captain, Shane Warne vice captain. So I'm just looking at the overall side. We have how many batters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batters. Except Magra, 13 batters. Not bad.
One can bat.
Everyone can bat. That is the reason I had a Hadley in my team. Only reason. Otherwise, I was inclined for Magra also initially. Curtly Ambrose,
Magra all can
surprisingly.
bat.
Yeah, Curtly Ambrose, since you had also, I'm telling you, a lot of journalists, I see journalists, not me. I see a lot of journalists, even Vikram Kumar or even your senior Lokendra Pratap Sahi, I have seen, Kishore Vimani, a lot of old people used to have Ambrose. I don't know why.
Mention that name.
Acha, okay.
No. I mean, the name you mentioned before Kishore Bhimani.
Yeah. Okay. No, I got it. So I am saying a lot of seniors who have been watching cricket have kept Ambrose. I don't understand why they keep Ambrose.
No, I mean, why I had kept Ambrose is because, he was the leader of the Windies bowling attack when their fast bowling resources were on the decline.
Decline.
He
Okay.
had no one, barring Courtney Walsh, he had no one to support him.
Correct.
Patrick Patterson came for a while and then, he had his own problems.
Ian Bishop. I think
Ian
Ian Bishop
he was injury prone.
Injured. He's injury
Yeah.
prone. Bishop was
Yeah,
heavily
He was
injury
injury prone. Yeah.
prone.
And then after that, all mediocre bowlers. Franklin Rose, he bowled well in one or two series, disappeared.
Disappeared.
Franklin Rose is a very kind of a dicey character.
Yeah, very dicey character. Sometimes, I talk to him on Facebook,
Okay.
he answers and then again, for 5 months he's quiet. He's online, but he's quiet. Anyway, that is different, but
Yeah.
He stays in New Zealand, I believe, these days.
Okay.
Franklin Rose, he stays in New Zealand. Yeah, I got to know from one of my friends. So yeah, he stays in New Zealand.
Okay, I didn't know this. Okay. And then others also arrived. The guys, players like Rion King, Marvin Dillon, but they didn't.
Pedro Collins. Pedro Collins for some
Pedro
days.
Collins so much later, but all these guys didn't have the same impact like Ambrose had.
No, Ambrose had his own aura.
Yeah,
I think this 120. I think India failed to score 121 in Barbados. I think because of Ambrose.
Yes, 120.
Ambrose, Bishop and,
India were 81 all out. That very infamous 81 all out.
81.
Yeah, Bishop and Ambrose actually ran through the entire Indian top order.
Correct.
In that test, I think Franklin Rose also took 3 wickets.
Correct.
In that same
before we close, I would like to. It's a fantastic team. Congratulations to all. I think except Joe Root, I'm happy with all because it was my selection anyways. But one thing I'd like to know from each one of you, one person, one bowler, I thought should have been here, and it's a neutral as a cricket analyst, Dale Steyn. Your thoughts on Dale Steyn?
I had Dale Steyn in my team. I had Dale Steyn in my team.
I also had Steyn in the
awesome strike rate. Yes, Steyn is
awesome strike rate. At the time when Donald was phased out, and like he said, South African cricket was going through a generation crisis. Remarkable bowler.
And
amazing
record in Asia.
That wicket in Nagpur, 2010.
Yeah, he just blown away Indian batting in Nagpur. So I mean, he was
like Malcolm Marshall. He used to rip through the side. He was a ripper. He used to rip 5 wickets in 5 overs. He was that type of a bowler. I think Dale Steyn should have been in our team. I don't know, because you can't even, if you have Malcolm Marshall and Wasim Akram, very difficult to take out Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn couldn't bat. Absolute money,
I-
absolute money.
If you have to consider all the things, I mean, why we haven't put Donald Bradman? We haven't seen
Correct.
him play, right?
Correct. No,
I
that's
think
why this is one of what we said.
Well, we
yeah,
haven't
I
put
mean,
Alan
whoever
Donald also.
probably we have seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of my big favorites. That first match in Eden Gardens after they came back, 91. I was in class 10, 11. Amazing.
I
That
have
White
heard
Lightning.
Barry Richards. I have heard about Barry Richards
Yeah,
being one of
I
the
said that.
all-time
Yeah.
best.
He will become one of, he will be in one of the lists, of course, on Western or other. He played only 4 test matches. Because of apartheid, he played 4, but he is regarded by many as the greatest opener ever to play the game.
Gavaskar said
A lot of people.
he has seen him live, and according to him, he was one of the best of all time.
Absolute.
So, yeah, I mean, but anyways, this 14 sums up, I think.
Yeah, it is a
well.
very, very, very strong side, good side. And I think we have done a really decent job, and we have discussed also. I'm personally surprised with Sangakkara because I thought there will be a stick fight with Gilchrist, because a lot of people stick their neck out for Gilchrist. I know I have been part of discussions where people have fought with each other, beaten up each other on Gilchrist. And that is the impact he has, let me tell you. People
Sangakkara, I don't think Sangakkara is any match to Gilchrist, especially in the test format. See the number of runs and the average. Forget about his keeping against Murli. Just see the number of runs.
But one thing, Shayok and Sudeep, one thing which I just forgot. Sangha overall career is, as a wicketkeeper, he played less test matches. Out of his 134 tests, I think about only 45 to 50 tests was as a keeper. The remaining 84 was as a batsman. Mind you, he was not keeper for his entire tenure. So that might go against him in the selection. Whereas Gilchrist plays as a keeper in all his 96 test matches. Yeah. Correct. Agreed. So thank you, gentlemen. It was a fantastic discussion. Really appreciated the discussion. We had a great one. And Sudeep, we'll put the team, of course. We have seen the team. It was a good selection, and we look forward to such meaningful discussions again. Thanks, Shayok and Amit also for joining us, and we'll be there next week. Also, the next day. Yeah, the next week, of course, on Wednesday, Shayok, see if you can join. It will be on Yashasvi Jaiswal, and it is going to be a good discussion because I want your input, especially on Jaiswal, because he is becoming a problem. Today, Sunil Gavaskar said that in the show.
No, but I think he's 51, not out today again.
Oh, he's 51.
Yes.
I have not seen the score. He's not out.
Can we have the series review? By that time, the series will be done and dusted.
No.
Let's have the series review.
We'll have the series review, but that will be done by Rajdeep Sardesai. He has told me that he'll come back for the series. That was much before you joined. So it will be better to have an expert like Rajdeep here. But we can have an internal discussion. But Rajdeep has said he'll come. So we'll have a review with him. But we'll definitely have our internal reviews. Definitely we can have. And next one is Yashasvi Jaiswal. We need to discuss on what he's doing right and mostly what he's doing wrong. Because today, Sunil Gavaskar has said in an interview to Rediff Mail, I think I'll share that. I think shared it with me? Sudeep shared the interview. A lot of people are discussing in social media and a lot of cricketers that Jaiswal may not be what we thought. We thought he was Don Bradman. But I think now he's a poor man's Don Bradman now. So a lot of questions on Jaiswal now. Yep.
Okay, we'll discuss this.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Thanks and good night to all of you. Thank you so much.